My name is Della, and just before Christmas I found myself staring at the small pile of coins I had been desperately saving for months. $1.87. That was all, and 60 cents of it was in pennies. I had counted the money 3 times, hoping that somehow it would magically increase. It didn't. The next day would be Christmas, and I had almost nothing to buy a gift for my husband Jim. I sank onto our shabby little couch and cried. Life, I've learned, is a strange mix of sobs, sniffles, and occasional smiles, and that day the sobs definitely won. Jim and I lived in a tiny furnished flat that cost $8 a week. It wasn't miserable exactly, but you could tell it wasn't a place Prosperity visited often. Even the mailbox wouldn't take mail, and the doorbell was just for decoration. Still, it was home, and inside it was a card that read, Mr. James Dillingham Young, though we simply called each other Jim and Della. After a while I wiped my tears and stared out the window, watching a grey cat walk along a grey fence under a grey sky. I kept thinking, how can I buy Jim a gift with only $1.87? Something worthy of him? Something he deserved? I caught sight of myself in the mirror, our old pier glass that gave a wobbly reflection, but it showed me something important. My hair, my long brown hair, my pride and joy. It fell almost to my knees, shiny and heavy like a waterfall. In that moment, a bold, frightening, hopeful idea struck me. Before I could talk myself out of it, I grabbed my coat and hat and rushed into the street. I didn't stop until I reached a shop with a sign that read, Madame Sofronie, here goods of all kinds. My heart pounded as I climbed the stairs. When I asked if she'd buy my hair, she simply said, Take off your hat. And when my hair fell down my back, she lifted it, studied it, and said, $20. $20. Enough to buy Jim the perfect gift. I swallowed hard. Give it to me quick. The next couple of hours I spent searching every store in town, looking for something that felt like Jim. And then I found it. A simple, elegant platinum fob chain for his watch. Quiet, strong, valuable, just like him. When I held it, I knew, this is it. This is his gift. It cost $21, almost everything I had. I walked home proud, clutching the chain, imagining Jim's face when he saw it. But then reality hit me. My hair was gone. I stared at myself in the mirror and tried to curl what little was left into something presentable. I looked like a mischievous schoolboy. If Jim doesn't kill me, I thought, he might at least laugh. But what else could I have done? That evening, I waited for him by the door, whispering a tiny prayer. Please, God, make him think I'm still pretty. When Jim finally walked in, he froze. He just stared at me, not angry, not shocked, but with an expression I couldn't read. I ran to him, explaining everything in a rush. How I sold my hair, how it would grow back, how I just wanted him to have a gift worthy of him. And then, slowly, Jim smiled. He reached into his coat and handed me a small package. Inside were the combs. The combs I'd admired for so long in a shop window, tortoiseshell with jeweled rims. The combs meant for the beautiful long hair that was no longer mine. For a moment I cried again, but happy tears this time. I hugged them to my heart, whispering that my hair grew fast. It really did. Then I remembered the chain. I jumped up, held it out proudly, and asked for his watch so I could attach it. But Jim just smiled and lay back on the couch. Dell, he said gently, I sold my watch to buy your combs. We both laughed, soft, tender, almost embarrassed. All our sacrifices had cancelled each other out. But in that moment, our gifts didn't feel foolish. They felt perfect. Because, in giving up what we loved most, we showed how deeply we loved each other. People say the magi were wise men who brought gifts to a newborn king. Maybe so. But I believe the truest wisdom is in giving with your whole heart, even when you have little. And that Christmas, Jim and I, two ordinary, struggling young people, loved each other so much that we became, in our own small way, the magi.